What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have a quick video for you guys today because our Commanders did make some moves on this Saturday, November the 30th, 2024, on the eve of their Week 13 matchup with the Tennessee Titans. So before we get too deep into this video, you already know what I'm going to say. Be sure to comment, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. On the road to 2,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without your help. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you're not missing out on any of this content. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So as I stated, today is Saturday, November the 30th, 2024. We're a couple of days after Thanksgiving. I haven't been on here since, so hopefully you guys had a happy Thanksgiving for all those that do celebrate. Hopefully you guys were able to spend time with your family, watch some football, and recover and rest. The Thanksgiving break is also essential in my life schedule. So hopefully you guys enjoyed your holiday. And yeah, that was just the kickoff of the holiday season because Christmas is right around the corner for those who celebrate. So sticking with the theme of the holiday season, Ron Rivera, our boy, Paddle Boat Ron Rivera just proves that he is the gift that keeps on giving. And let me tell you why I say that, because the news that the Commanders made today on the eve of their Week 13 matchup with the Tennessee Titans is that they actually made a couple of roster moves. The first roster move they made was releasing A.J. Brown Jr. or A.J. Brown III. It's like, releasing cornerback Emanuel Forbes Jr. And then they also placed running back Austin Ekeler on the injured reserve list. So he's out for at least the next 4 games. Something I expected, honestly, after that ugly hit he took on that kickoff return against the Dallas Cowboys. And then they also elevated defensive tackle Carl Davis and kicker Zane Gonzalez to the practice squad. But no need to bury the lead. We all know what this video is for, and the main point of this video, and that is Mr. Emanuel Forbes Jr. Because I didn't think that I'll see the day, but Emanuel Forbes Jr., honestly, with this move, with him no longer being a Washington Commander, I think we can honestly argue that Emanuel Forbes is the worst first-round draft pick since at least Josh Dotson. And I'll argue that he's even a worse draft pick than Josh Dotson because at least Josh Dotson made it through his second season, something that Emanuel Forbes didn't do, getting cut after 12 games into his sophomore year. But honestly, if you're not delusional, a blind man could have saw that the writing was on the wall with Emanuel Forbes, especially with him being inactive in the last couple of games, because it ain't like we out there trotting out all pros as a cornerback duo. We're a team that can get all the cornerback help that we need, especially with Marshall Lattimore, still on the mend, still not able to play any games. He had his first practice action as a Washington Commander this week, but I say that to say it ain't like we got an abundance of talent over there in the cornerback room, and for Emanuel Forbes to simply being inactive and not even be good enough to address, the writing was on the wall for their opinions on Emanuel Forbes, not only as a player, but how he fits on this 2024 Washington Commanders and how he fits for the vision of the Washington Commanders in the future. But let's get into the gift that keeps on giving really quickly in Ron Rivera, because he really screwed us over. And I've said this before, and you know if you're a Day One Bleeding B&G fan, you know that I've said this before. You're going to have a hard time trying to convince me that Ron Rivera wasn't sabotaging us by the end of his tenure as the Washington Commanders quasi-GM president, head coach, whatever the fuck he was. And that coach-centric approach, giving him the same amount of power as Bill Belichick, even though he can't sniff Bill Belichick's jockstrap or Bill Belichick's worst day. Because with this move and Emanuel Forbes being released from the 2024 Washington Commanders, none of the first-round draft picks that Ron Rivera made during his stint as the quasi-general manager, head coach, team president, team chaplain, equipment boy, water boy, none of those first-round picks are on the roster as of today. 2020 and Chase Young, he gone. 2021 in Jamin Davis, he gone. 2022 in Jahan Dotson, he gone. And now in 2023 in Emanuel Forbes, he gone. And I know some fans hate when we run our victory laps and we go on these ego trips, but this is just another series and events of, and I'm not here to say that I know more than all football minds and I know more than everybody working in the NFL. It's more so to say that there are some people in some minds that are incompetent in the roles that they're in. Because sticking with the theme of a blind man could have made some better draft evaluations and some better draft selections than Ron Rivera and the Martys did in the last couple of years. A blind man. Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder could have drafted better players than Ron Rivera did during his tenure as the Washington Commanders football team GM. And I'm not joking when I say that. I mean that with all seriousness. Somebody that didn't watch film could have made better evaluations than Ron Rivera. How you go 0 for 4? How? They sending you to the minors if you go 0 for 4 in the MLB. You went 0 for 4 as a GM, as a talent evaluator. Leaving my man Adam Peters out here having to make filet mignon out of steakums. Had to make chicken salad out of chicken scratch. And this is one of the reasons why, even though we call lightning in a bottle, we started at 7-2. This roster is talent deprived, and it's one of the reasons why we're in this 3-game losing streak that we are right now. Because you're not getting any production from any of your first-round draft picks since 2020 outside of Jalen Daniels. And we're wondering why we can't compete with the elites. I touched on it in our video after our loss against the Baltimore Ravens, when Jamin Davis and Emanuel Forbes were inactive on that game. You're not going to be able to compete with the elites when you're not getting any production from your first-round draft picks. And I hope that those days are over. We're getting instant production, instant gratitude, instant deposits on our first-round selection this year in Jaden Daniels. But just having a competent mind like Adam Peters at the front office gives me a lot more hope than I had day one of the Ron Rivera era. And one of the reasons why I say you're going to have a hard time convincing me that it's not sabotage, we got to remember, we're the organization that got Ron fired, bruh. What makes me think that he wanted to come in here and make us better? I wouldn't put it past Ron Rivera to do some spiteful shit like that. Because as I've said before, you can go look at the group chat reaction to the Emanuel Forbes pick in 2023. Everybody and their mother knew that Christian Gonzalez was the best cornerback on the board at that point. And in his second season, he out here shadowing Jamar Chase, shadowing A.J. Brown, shadowing elite number 1 wide receivers. Emanuel Forbes about to be working at Renner Center next week. I told y'all before. I said it after the Bucs game. We're going to look up at this point next year, and Emanuel Forbes going to be a real estate agent in the DMV, telling everybody how he has the pick 6 record in college and how he just simply couldn't get it done in the NFL. I'm telling you, I told y'all this before. I hate to be the I told you so guy. But Emanuel Forbes has some physical limitations that's going to always give him a hard time to play in the NFL. And then when you pair that with the lack of confidence and the piss poor technique that he's played with in his 2 years in Washington, you get Emanuel Forbes. You get a guy, a first-round draft pick cut in the middle of his second season. And you see I mentioned the technique because having a high school DB coach help him develop in his rookie year didn't do him any favors. But that high school DB coach ain't had none with you getting bullied at the catch point because you 132 pounds. I think that this was a move that was best for all parties because I don't think Forbes was ever going to get his confidence back, especially, playing for the Washington Commanders, listening to the Washington community. He's shown you before that he's a guy that listens to the tweets on social media. He done blocked everybody and their mother before. He got pissed when y'all made him the bid when that ninth grader made him look like he could throw him over his shoulder like the ninth grader was the one that played in the NFL. It just was all bad from the jump for Emanuel Forbes. And this is why I said I think that he's a worse first-round draft pick than Josh Doctson. At least Josh Doctson had some flashes. We had the Seattle catch. I don't know how many other catches we got. I guess we got the Emanuel Forbes interception against the Broncos, I guess. Because by week 4 of his rookie season, he was getting memed and turned into the little man posters with AJ Brown pushing him in the stroller. And his confidence was shook after that. Even though he still has some defenders. I wonder where all the Emanuel Forbes defenders are now. I was blaming that coaching staff, blaming the incompetence in the room, and I couldn't disagree with you last year. What was the case this year? Why he not playing over Benjamin St. Juste that get flamboyant week in and week out? Because he's not better. So like I said, I think Emanuel Forbes, honestly, as I said before, the writing was on the wall. It was mentioned that we were looking to get rid of him at the trade deadline, and we couldn't even fetch a 6th or 7th round pick because nobody else in the league wants to give up draft capital for fucking Emanuel Forbes Jr. And I totally understand it. That's why it might be time to start looking at the UFL, bro. The Houston Renegades, the DC Defenders. Or like I said, you could become a real estate agent, or I might see you on Landover Road, and I might tell you to put the files in the bag, bro. But all honesty, I do wish the best for you in your future endeavors. Don't know how long that's going to be in the NFL, but I do wish the best for Emanuel Forbes. And getting cut during the holiday season is a tough task in itself. But I don't think Emanuel Forbes was set up to succeed from the jump. And look, some of that has to do with him and the player that he is. Some of that has to do with the competence that we were pushing out there prior to 2024 season. But hey, you put all of that in a mixing pot, and you get the release of Emanuel Forbes in the middle of the sophomore season. Some other news was made today. Running back Austin Ekeler was put on IR, so he's set to miss at least 4 games. I don't know if this is a season ender because we do have 5 games and the playoffs if we make it. Don't know how likely that is at the rate we going. But this is something that I expected, especially after you heard like Dan Quinn and the guys talk about Austin in the coming days after the concussion. It wasn't like he was making a quick recovery. He's coming off of his 2nd concussion this year. And I was there. I was boots on the ground. That hit was loud as hell. I thought Austin Ekeler broke his neck. So yeah, get well soon, Austin. But yeah, that means that our top 2 running backs going into the season are hampered now with all the litany of lower body injuries that Brian Robinson's had. And now Austin Ekeler dealing with these concussions. Don't tell me that we shouldn't be looking at running back in the 2025 NFL draft. Amari Hampton, Ashton Genty, Krishan Jenkins, come on down. Ollie Gordon, come on down. I need somebody with some speed, though. And last but not least, kicker Zane Gonzalez got elevated from the practice squad. This is a move that we made after putting Austin Seibert on IR. Dan Quinn said he popped up with a new injury during the game. I don't know if Dan was saving face for all the missed kicks that we had because there were some reports that, Austin Seibert felt threatened about his job security and kind of forced his way back before he was healthy. Hope that isn't the case because that did cost us a game. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. Just wanted to let you know all the latest is going on in Commanders land. Big matchup tomorrow with the Tennessee Titans. Can we get a win? I need a win to close out an amazing Thanksgiving weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be back with the recap episode tomorrow, the reaction video, and you know how we get down at Bleed BNG. I'll check in on y'all later. Peace.